I've spent 20 years in tech, including as a 19th engineer at WhatsApp before its $19 billion acquisition by Meta, and as a software engineering manager. Today, I help people navigate tech careers in the age of AI. And thanks to Coursera for sponsoring this video. More on them later. Before we get into the challenges, let's answer a much more basic question. What is AI engineering? And how is it different from machine learning? AI engineering exploded in popularity for two simple reasons. AI got dramatically better, and it got dramatically easier to use. 10 years ago, building AI systems typically required a team of machine learning engineers and specialists who spent months collecting data, fine-tuning, and training models. Today, that foundation already exists. Companies like OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, and Meta have spent billions training powerful models, so AI engineers don't need to build those foundations from scratch anymore. They build products and systems on top of them. An AI engineer might use GPT, Claude, Gemini, or other open source models like Llama to create a product to solve a problem. They're not necessarily reinventing the models. They're choosing the right model, connecting it to data and tools, and tuning them into something that solves real business problems for them. That's why AI engineers can move much faster than traditional machine learning teams. So it's less like building the engine itself, but moving on to building the cars. And perhaps the biggest misconception is that AI engineering is generally not as math intensive as traditional machine learning. This role is much closer to software engineering than most people realize. If you want a deeper breakdown of the differences, I do have an entire video on that. You can watch that later. And before we get into the 5 real challenges, let's clear up 2 misconceptions. I want to first talk about the math. Most AI engineers are not doing heavy math every day. The job is mostly coding, building systems, working with APIs, and turning AI into useful products. But if you're going into machine learning engineering specifically, there is math involved like linear algebra, statistics, probability, calculus. So if math is really not your thing, machine learning may not be the right fit for you, but that doesn't automatically rule out engineering necessarily. On the money side, people love to say, don't go into tech for money, but I grew up prioritizing financial stability, and that's a real legitimate reason to choose a career for a majority of us. And realistically, like many of the people who say don't do it for the money have probably never had to seriously worry about it. That said, the reason these jobs pay well is because they're really hard. AI engineering should not be seen as a shortcut to a big paycheck. The salary reflects the skill level required, the pace of change, and the difficulty of building systems that actually work. While I do think it's okay to care about the money and prioritize money, but there are also downsides that you need to understand before going all into this career. So let's go through the challenges. Number 1 is that AI is genuinely hard. And that might sound really obvious, but I think a lot of people underestimate it. I've never met anyone in AI who says, this is the easiest thing I've ever done. Companies are not paying 6 figures because the work is so easy. They're paying for skills that are really difficult to develop. One of the most common questions I get is it easy to get an AI engineering job if I just follow a roadmap? The answer is no. And honestly, that's the wrong question to be asking in the first place. You won't ask if it's easy to become a brain surgeon. You're learning coding, AI systems, APIs, prompting, evaluation, debugging, and product thinking. And then even after having all those skills, you're competing against thousands of other people with strong qualifications. That doesn't mean you can't do it. It just means you should go in with a realistic expectation. If you're looking for shortcuts, I don't have one. This path is for people who are willing to learn hard things and keep going. And if you are trying to learn AI, one of the hardest parts isn't just the learning itself, it's having the right discipline and the structure to follow through. Luckily, Coursera has built learning paths designed to solve this problem exactly. If you want a beginner-friendly introduction, AI for Everyone covers core AI concepts, real-world use cases, and business applications without requiring a technical background. If you want something more practical, the Google AI Professional Certificate focuses on mastering prompting to automate data analysis, streamline communication, and build web applications from scratch. And if you want to go deeper into both AI and machine learning, Microsoft AI and machine learning is a much more structured path toward building and deploying real systems. I'll link all these in the description along with the 40% discount code. Now back to the video. Okay, so reason number one was that AI is hard. But unfortunately, it's not just hard. It's hard while thousands of other people are trying to do the exact same thing you're doing. Think about California gold rush. Some people struck gold, but most people didn't. The same pattern has played out with the internet, mobile apps, and now AI. That doesn't mean the opportunity isn't there or is hype, and I'm living proof. I benefited from one of those waves when I joined WhatsApp as a 19th engineer, and I was lucky enough to be there when Meta acquired the company for $19 billion. That experience helped me reach financial independence that I experience today, and these opportunities can be life-changing. But most people won't hit that outcome, not because they're not working hard or they're not smart, but because whenever a lot of money concentrates in one area, a lot of people show up. That's the supply and demand problem, and right now the number of people who want AI jobs is growing much faster than the number of AI jobs available, especially at the entry level. Everyone wants to be an AI engineer, but very few have developed the right skills companies are actually willing to pay for. And that gap creates intense competition. And these high-paying jobs usually come with high expectations. That's not unique to AI, but every high-paying role I've seen in 20 years of working in tech came with similar pressure. Just look at what happened at OpenAI. Sam Altman was pushed out of the company. He helped build, then fought his way back in within days. The board that tried to remove him ended up getting removed themselves. And it was fast, intense, and showed exactly how high the stakes are at the top of this industry. Do you think work-life balance is near the top of Sam Altman's or executives at OpenAI's priority list right now? And it's true, yes, most of us are not running AI companies, but the culture at the top usually trickles down and teams are moving fast, expectations are high, companies are racing to ship and go IPO before the competitors do. Hiring happens quickly, layoffs happen really quickly too, and if building a balanced, sustainable lifestyle is your top priority, this is probably the most completely opposite of what you can go for. So just think about the trade-offs. You can pursue money or you can pursue work-life balance. They're both fine options, but make a choice. The fourth reason is that everything in AI moves really fast. Remember when prompt engineering was the hottest skill for a while, and then MCP came in, then context engineering. The other day, I tried to look for prompt engineering jobs and I could not find any.